up to the upper 60s and lots of sunshine today. And we want to thank Tim for the news. But the real news is at CreativeMinorityReport.com. And Matthew Archbold is on the line, unless I misdialed and got a wrong number. And there's some guy on the line that's going to introduce himself. Good morning.
Good morning, Matthew.
He wouldn't do worse than me, believe me. I have been worried sick. I wasn't on last week, so I was monitoring the news coming out of Ohio, figuring everything was going to go off the rails without my wisdom being spake into the community last week. But it seems like everything went okay.
Well, we thought it was going to. We thought everything was going to go haywire too. But yeah.
Well, I guess I don't feel as needed as I used to, my friends.
Well, we can't make it without you, sir, and the state of Ohio is completely dependent upon you, and we are so thankful for all the news that you provide. And I bet I know the answer to this, but I want to find. So there was an interesting interview yesterday. Vice-President Harris, who is the nominee for the Democratic Party running for president of these United States, actually had an interview with someone who actually asked some questions. Did you get an opportunity to look at any of that or hear any of that?
I did. As Brett Baer said, Kamala Harris showed up late and quit early. And I was thinking, that's the kind of job I need.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Right. And, how has this changed from Joe Biden showing up late, quitting early, right? I mean, how has this changed at all? What's amazing to me, though, is how we have a campaign where a candidate literally has sat down for, 3 serious interviews this entire time, and has a very decent chance of winning. It really does. It's shocking how split we are, and how just it doesn't matter. This is my team, and this is what I'm going with. And it doesn't help, that everything seems to be running on abortion right now.
Yeah, right.
Literally every single ad is about abortion that I see from the Kamala Harris campaign in Pennsylvania.
I think it's good to remind people, too, about Senator Harris, or Vice President Harris, when she was given an opportunity to ask potential judges about their relationship with the Knights of Columbus. She pretty much laid bare her thoughts on anybody who might have any positive feeling about the protection of life.
Oh, right. I mean, she has made it very clear. In fact, you'll recall David Daleiden. Remember him? He came out with those videos exposing Planned Parenthood and as selling body parts for profit. And Kamala Harris, as the Attorney General, went after him, prosecuted him.
Yeah.
I mean, that's insane, and really does show you what Catholics, faithful pro-life Catholics are in for. But, the media is kind of in the bag on this. I put up something on Creative Minority Report this morning, and it's so funny to see. As a reporter, it's so embarrassing for me. This used to be a pretty decent occupation. When you told people you were a journalist, you had some respect. Now it's gone. Elon Musk pointed this out on Twitter. How many of them are using the exact same headlines? Kamala Harris spars with Fox News anchor in testy interview from CNN. NPR says Fox gets testy with Kamala Harris. The Guardian says Kamala Harris pledges break from Biden presidency and testy Fox News interview. I'm telling you now, if one of my kids copied off of someone's paper and used the same verbiage, I would say, okay, we'll get into the morality thing in a minute, but how dumb can you be to use the exact same verbiage?
Right. You couldn't have changed a few words here and there. You couldn't have swapped it around.
We'll get to the moral thing later. But right now, how stupid are you?
Yeah.
And it's just like, come on, media, do better. At least if you're going to try to drag us into some dystopian hellscape 1984 type thing, at least try a little harder to cover it up, please.
But isn't
That's
it
all
crazy?
we're asking.
They never learn.
Exactly. And that's the same reason they're not covering this San Jose State University story, which is a transgender male player is playing on the women's team. And you have 5 different universities. The young women are refusing to play.
Yeah.
And this is nowhere in the mainstream media. This is a major, major story. And it's not being covered because they fear that it could split the female vote, which is essential for the Kamala Harris campaign right now.
Absolutely, and of course they're having a great season because none of the teams are wanting to play them, so they're forfeiting.
Exactly.
Well, there are so many issues at stake here as we look at presidential election, as we look at the balance in the Senate and the Congress. I mean, look, there are major things that are happening right now that are going to be decided by this new group of folks. And a lot of it has to do with moral teaching. A lot of it is connected to the teachings of the Catholic Church. It just is, and it has to be weighed.
Absolutely. In fact, people ask me, are you a Republican? You're a Democrat? And I'm a Catholic.
Yeah,
that's a good answer.
I am neither of those. I am Catholic, and then I decide which one will further. Usually, at this point, which one will further and allow my religious freedom? Which one? My mom is 90 years old. She was born on Christmas Day. She'll be 90 years old this Christmas, and she is out there. She prays in front of an abortion clinic every single week. Will that be allowed? Will my mom be arrested for that? And yes. The answer is yes, of course she will. We've seen that they're willing to do that. They're locking grandmothers up for praying in front of abortion clinics. And that will only continue if we allow it.
That's for sure.
We're not that far behind Great Britain, where they're locking them up for praying quietly in front of abortion clinics. They're not even speaking it aloud.
Read all about it, creativeminorityReport.com. Matthew Archbold, thank you so much. Always a pleasure, sir.
God bless, guys.